Today we'll be talking about the Huawei Watch Fit 2. So this is the all-new addition to the Huawei Smartwatch range. Now I've done a heart rate accuracy test as well as a skip count accuracy test with this watch. So without further ado, let's get into it. If you are new to Wesknows Tech News and Reviews, we talk about the latest tech news. We do brutally honest reviews and share hacks and tricks along the way. So I took the Huawei Watch Fit to my local gym, and there I did the skipping workout. So the benchmark for the heart rate accuracy will be the Polar H10 ECG chest strap. Heart rate being monitored by the Polar H10 ECG chest strap is considered to be the most accurate you can get these days. In regards to jump count benchmark, we actually use the Renpho Smart Jump Rope. So there you get rotatable handles, and every single rotation of the handle, that is considered as one skip. So it's very accurate indeed. So now that we set the scene of the test, let me tell you a little bit about the Watch Fit 2 and then we'll get into the results. So recently I've done an initial impressions review with this watch, and the impressions were sky high. Well, simply because you do get a 1.74-inch display here. It's HD quality, 336 ppi, aka pixels per inch. So this is really high definition. So there is no pixelated images here. Everything is smooth. The CPU is fast enough to make screens fly by. This is great. You get continuous SpO2, continuous heart rate measurement. You get continuous stress monitoring, as well as 97 sport modes. You get inbuilt GPS. So this is a true sport watch. You've got over 100 faces that can be downloaded onto the watch. The case is actually aluminium. It feels so light. This watch without the straps is just 30 grams. What I love about the strap is that it's actually it's silicon band, but the clasp is a classic watch type clasp, and that makes it so easy to put on, take off, and so forth. Now the strap's actually integrated into the case, so it looks very sporty and very stylish, and you do get the Apple Watch look here. Now I'm not going to say that the Apple Watch is the prettiest watch out there, but definitely it has a claim to fame, and this watch does look quite seamless. Now the bezels here are very thin indeed, so the shape and the size of the actual watch case did not change much from the initial fit, but the bezels are much more thin on this watch. Also, you get the button on the side, and that makes the experience much more wholesome. You do get Gorilla Glass sitting on top of this watch, so you are scratch resistant. Of course, if you do bang the watch against the wall, it will probably crack, but from the usual daily wear and tear, you're pretty much protected. All sport modes are actually goal based, so you can set yourself a goal such as time, distance to be run or walked, as well as calories to be burnt. Also, you do get auto brightness. That means that there's an ambient light sensor on this watch. You also get always on display, which is such a great feature to have. In regards to battery life, this thing can take you on for 10 days. Well, that's what the manufacturer said. Now I've actually had the watch for about a week. I can say that, yep, a week is about right. And that's with normal usage. If you are using it heavily, that is, you're using GPS almost every single day for about 30 minutes to an hour, then you'll be dropping down to about 5 days. If you're using always on display, then take another day off, so you'll be left with about 3 to 4 days. But anyways, it's still quite impressive for a huge 1.74-inch AMOLED display with such a high PPI. Now that we know a little bit about the watch, let's talk about heart rate accuracy first, and then we'll get onto the skip count. So let's look at the results from the Polar H10 ECG chest strap. So we can see that the average was measured at 139 beats per minute, while the max was registered at 158 beats per minute. So if we look down at the chart, we can see why the skipping exercise is considered a high intensity workout, simply because the distance between the throws and the peaks is not too far off from each other. Because once you skip, your heart rate is maxed, then you trip up, you basically get a slight reduction in the heart rate, and then you're back into it and it's back up again. And it's always this on and off, the peak and the trough, which are not too far off from each other. Anyways, let's take a look at the results from the Huawei Watch Fit 2 and the optical heart rate sensor on the back of this thing. So this is this thing right here. So how the optical heart rate sensor works is that it emits green LED light onto your wrist and catches the reflection on the photodiodes. It goes through an algorithmic calculation which comes out with your heart rate. So we usually do expect a slight lag between the readings, and you never really expect the optical heart rate sensor on the back of a smartwatch to be as accurate as a chest strap. Nonetheless, let's take a look at the results. And what we see is the average heart rate was measured at 137 beats per minute, while the max was registered at 160 beats per minute. So what does that mean? Well, it means that we see an understatement in the average by 2 beats per minute, and that is just over 1%. On the other hand, for the max, we see an overstatement by 2 beats per minute, and once again, that overstatement is just over 1%. Now, I would say this is a great result. Being within 2% off in the average as well as the peak from a chest strap, that's quite sharp. Anyways, now let's take a look at the skip count accuracy test. So first of all, we look at the numbers from the Renpho Smart Jump Rope. And there we can see that in just under 9 minutes, I've actually done 501 jumps. Let's see what the Watch Fit 2 came up with. And we can see 486 jumps. So once again, we're off by just 1.5%. This is great. Now, we've been doing skip count accuracy tests across a number of watches from Xiaomi, from Amazfit, other watches from Huawei, Garmin watches as well, and so forth. And we're yet to find watches which are very accurate. So far the Amazfit GTR3 has given very good results, but Huawei Watch Fit 2 is also giving us very accurate results. So 486 against 501. That's really good. And considering that the Garmin Venu 2 had a difference of about 7.5%, the 1.5 does sound great. So let's reiterate. We get a variance of 1.5% for the average heart rate. We get a 1.5% variance for the peak heart rate, and then we get a 1.5% variance on the skip count. What can I say? The Fit 2 does amaze me. So all in all, the Huawei Watch Fit 2 is showing great results, and this is something that we would expect considering it is using TrueSeam technology 5.0, so the same that you get on Huawei Watch GT3. But considering this thing will only set you back 130 quid or 150 bucks, it might be a better or a more budget buy than the Huawei Watch GT3. Anyways, thanks for watching this review and accuracy test of the Huawei Watch Fit 2. If you did enjoy it, please drop me a like. If you want to see more of the same, you know what to do. Please click the red subscribe button below the video, and I'll see you in the next one.